Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as Japan, episode number 42, The Answer to Life. So here we go. As soon as I sneeze at least. Alright, so no war, budget's looking good, everything's kind of great. We're just waiting for our design of the new... Kageryu. Kageryu carrier. And once that's through, I'm sure we'll eat up any remaining... new submarines. Didn't I? Yeah, I did not improve those. They might be worth getting now. We're getting... I mean, hey, this is historically a great time to have submarines. So that's worth considering. This is a little troubling how tensions seem to be unilaterally... uniformly, that's probably a better way of saying it, increasing with everyone. Except for our useless treaty with Italy. Hey, they I guess they help. I don't really care if we go to war with them. It'll be a nothing war. So, French bombers. Yeah, we have medium bombers now. 800 medium load, 94 top speed. My goodness. Quality 1 4-inch guns. Now that we do have those as tertiary guns on our Miobus. By the way, it's 1933. I really got to go through the list and find anybody like the Parent Soko here. So the question about this one is what to do with it, really. Are we satisfied with its existence in our Navy? Look, if we go to active for a moment, it costs 450 a turn. I don't think it's worth that amount. However, I'm not trying to think about sunk cost fallacy here. But to me, it still seems like the cost... What I'm trying to do is calculate the cost of building a new one beyond just the monthly cost. And this thing is still valuable to us to a degree. Like, let's just take a look. Well, the armor is not going to be aging well. The guns aren't going to be aging very well either. 12-inch guns. I mean, this is really a nice backup Dreadnought. I think you could almost think of this as a tank. Just something to go in and absorb 28,000 tons worth of damage. And this is certainly going to be better than some of the other battleships and Dreadnoughts we see out there. I guess I am a little bit of the mind that it could be like its turrets are a bit low as well, but then they're only 12-inch gun turrets. If we get the cross-deck firing, we actually still have 10 12-inch guns firing, and that's something useful. Another case you can make for replacing it is it's the only 21-knot ship in our arsenal, which means it'll slow down everything else, or kind of. We can just play some tricks to separate it, but nobody really wants to do that. So what I think I am of the mind that we should get rid of this and replace it with one of the carriers. I mean, the best time to do this is right now, right after the end of the war. If we hold on to it for any longer, we're basically committing to keeping it around until, until we get through another war. The only way to answer this, I think, is to look at what it will potentially be up against. And I think we should look at the British. Let's take a look at the map. I think British and Americans are the only real challenges we have. Yeah, so we could go after France again. Let's keep them in okay, we can also go after Russia. So let's... Russia, Great Britain, France, and the United States. And actually the United States and Great Britain are like the two prime candidates. I think we're ready. As soon as we get these new carriers out, and they should be out by the time there's war. We already have tensions, we already have spying at max for those. I actually think we're doing exactly the right thing. Anyway, so let's take a look at the Almanac for Great Britain first. Let's see what kind of ships they have out there. Yeah, they're still using a bunch of these older ships, 22,009. Let's take a look at these. 13-inch guns. The Otago could definitely go up against this. It was the Otago, right? Yeah, Otago. And is that the same one? It is. Yeah, this is I'm actually not sure how they got this at 30,000 tons. We only have one extra gun. They're using forward superfiring forward superfiring turret, which is the most expensive option out of all the X type turret, like double turret you can get. This is the most expensive. I don't know what the armor is on it, but I'm assuming it's more than 11.5 inches, so probably 12, 13. I mean, 16-inch guns, they probably have good armor on it. It's 22 knots, so it's a knot faster with better armor, or the same armor? I think we're at 11 as well. 8 16-inch guns is just, there's no conceivable way that's lighter than 10 12-inch guns. I just don't believe it. I'm pretty sure that that's significantly heavier. Hey, we can try to design this ourselves. Let's just do it. Let's put 11.5-inch belt and get 8 16-inch turrets. Let's have some fun. Let's try to create the AI design. So let's just auto-generate something. It's going to come up with something useless. 31,000 maybe at 22. 11.5, 13. We'll just leave it at the default. Pretend. And it almost came up with the right thing right off the bat. Half center line, we're going to delete that. Yeah, so I am getting this thing as able to function. And this is with torpedo protection 3 with 1,000 tons remaining. It just kind of blows your mind. Why is the Otago? I guess the Otago is just woefully inefficient for its time. I mean, it was efficient for its time, but now it's, if you try to design the same thing, it'd be woefully inefficient. And you know what? It's really easy to see that, by the way, if we just open the design, not open for rebuild, which will keep the tonnage as it is, but open it as if we want to build a new one. And there you have it. We would have 2,300 tons available if we tried to do the same thing. Looks like the Purinsoko, although we got 21 knots on it, was actually designed for 22. I did not know that. I mean, I'm sure I knew that at some point, but I have forgotten. So that's a bummer. You know what? Yeah, I think I am of the mind that we can scrap this. I don't think... Okay, so let's just take a look at the Almanac once again. Now, not so... Okay, let's be fair. Let's look at the other ships I might encounter from the American side. This ship, I think it could handle. An 18-knot Alabama from probably pretty old. 12-inch belt. And alternatively... Actually, they have a whole bunch of these Alabamas. A lot of them. The next one is the Montana. This one, she's already met her match. Certainly met her match. You know, would be... I think would be easily defeated by this kind of ship. But at least she can... I mean, it's not that she's going to go one-on-one with these ships. It's just she's going to be part of a whole group. And if she's contributing, then she's worth keeping in the line. It's kind of interesting because I don't really know how to think about the mechanics here. It's because, unfortunately, this game doesn't play... I'm separating things into two different fields. I'm putting my... Like, visually, I have my hands up, and I'm moving them to two different sides of my body. Like, we gotta separate these two things. One is, how would this happen in real life? I think you would have use for these kind of old battleships in real life because they would be very threatening in a lot of different ways. I just don't think the battle generator tends to give you battles where they are as effective as they might have been in real life. Like I'm thinking about in real life, you could use this in like an escort mission, even to escort carriers. And I know that sounds absurd because it's 21 knots, but most of the time carriers are not going their max speed; they're going some other speed. So you could probably have them as kind of like a somewhat escort. Although you probably wouldn't want to run them flat out at 21 knots either. So I don't know. I mean, basically, I feel like the battle generator does... You do have to game the system a bit, unfortunately. By the way, I'm up to version 1.22. I talked about version 1.21, but as it happened, 1.22 was released, so I got that. And it reminded me why I'm reluctant to upgrade. Because I have custom names for Japanese ship names, and I have custom images for all the little pop-ups we see. And every time I want to upgrade, or put a patch in, I have to undo all of that patch and then redo all of it. It's a bit of a pain. I mean, there's been a lot of complaints, I think, about the current system that Rule the Waves uses with the DRM and all that, but I'm going to leave that discussion for another time. Going back to Parent Soko, so let's see. She would be a match for a lot of the current U.S. ships. I mean, by a lot, I mean it's not the majority. It's 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Looks like there's 7 Alabamas, 2 Montanas, which can already probably defeat her. Then we have the Delawares, which she might actually be okay fighting a Delaware again. Less armor, lower caliber guns. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7. So 15. This is this is crazy to think about. 15 of the 22 dreadnoughts that the Americans have, the Otago could probably keep up with. I mean, at least hold her own with fairly well. Probably would lose to anything but the Alabamas in a one-on-one, but she would hold the line with the other ones. And we're looking at a 3-to-1 ratio here still, so going down to 6 means we're bordering on the 4-to-1 ratio, which I don't want. But the alternative is to get fast battleships, which I'd love to have, but unfortunately we just don't have the budget for it if we're going to end up building new carriers, and I think that is priority number 1 right now. I have been told in the comment section that 101 is the penalty point, not 100, which is good. I wished I knew. Actually, I forgot to reply to that person and ask if that's something they found in the game code or how we know that, because I basically don't trust words. I mean, if it's a words specifically outlining this on the forum, then I trust it. It's my understanding as well, but this is my big fear. Going from 99 to 100 gives you an increase of like basically 1%. I'm worried that as soon as you tick over this, let's say you go from 100 to 101, it does the entire loading time for every plane increase by like 10%, in which case I'm like the risk reward is not good. I'm happy. I'd prefer to be safe. And I think we actually had a kind of a fun time getting that carrier to be, the tonnage it is. So getting one extra plane is not like it wasn't a given. Okay, anyway. Probably just keep pushing next turn. Yeah, we're still deciding what to do about the Parent Soko. Well, let's take one last look at France, because they're going to have, I assume, newer battleships since we sank a lot of theirs. Well, that's a very French design, isn't it? That's just the kind of thing we'd expect from the French. Kind of unusual design like that. I think it's interesting. I don't think I like it, but it's pretty interesting. I'm glad that it exists in this game, even if it's not a design I would want to use. It's cool. I like seeing diversity. You don't want to see the AI mixing it up a little bit. As long as they have like a general trend of doing good things, it's fun to see them mix it up, because for people like me who are kind of scared to do things which aren't what I deem as pretty efficient, it's nice to see the somewhat less efficient, or maybe they are efficient, but anyway, those different designs. It's still fun to see them in the game. I really am happy to see this. Anyway, is this a match for the Otago? I think so. I would put her a slight favorite, but they're I would say that they're similar. 14 inches over 12 inches, it's a pretty big difference in range, thus accuracy, and obviously firepower. Okay. So where are we with this thing? It's only going to cost us 91 to keep her, and to rebuild, even to get another carrier in her place. It's 91. But we just got to keep her for one more war. We have to, because one new carrier being built is like 2 million, or I should talk about it in terms of this. I think this is times 1,000, but One new carrier is like 2,000, and this is only 91 to maintain. So the cost of this until we're at war, like I mean, we basically have so much money put into that. Not put into this sunk cost fallacy. I'm going around in circles, I know, but it's not about sunk cost fallacy. It's about the cost of building a new ship, which is just so much more than the cost of maintenance. So that's it. Made our decision. It's already going to be tight getting the new carriers. So if I wanted to, I probably would scrap this and just not get a new ship to replace it. But that would be, in my opinion, even worse than having that. Maybe, okay. We probably could benefit from seaplane tenders because we don't want to have scout planes. Oh, okay. Okay, wow, this turn was crazy. Quality 1 10-inch guns. Okay, let's go over to research. No, doctrine, sorry. We should also go to research. I haven't checked in a while. I'm going to go with use oxygen fuel torpedoes. We already have float plane search priority. Save changes, close. I think that's not... I think save changes is for this, not for this. But there it is, oxygen fuel torpedoes. Good luck to our ships, by the way. We're going to probably see a lot of detonations. I feel like, by the way, that I would not normally check this because our torpedoes are already doing very well. And I forget what's the exact effect of this. Is it like 50% increased range or 50% increased speed? Or is it 50% increased speed and range? And then obviously the downside is when they blow up, they impact the ship a lot more. So what happened that we suddenly have 4 million in the bank? Oh, the Ashigara is finished. Well, that explains it. Wow. Talk about perfect timing. Wait, did our design study complete? No, we have 1 more month. Ah, it's just perfect timing. Holy cow. It's actually perfect timing. Like I planned it. I shouldn't act so surprised. Of course, I knew this was going to happen. I really didn't, obviously. But that is going to work out really well. Yeah, I feel really good about the state of the Imperial Japanese Navy is looking really solid. We could benefit from more battleships, but if all goes well and our carriers work out better. Yeah, these are 86 aircraft, so they're good, the tsunamis, but I think I'm not going to get the name of this. Kageryu. Well, I mean, it's going to be a good carrier. We probably should look at what new aircraft we want to get as well. The Hood, okay, currently under construction. Wow, the Majestic class, living up to its name, I have to say. 5-inch deck. Oh my God, 43,000 tons. Does this rival mine? Mine is at 47,000 tons, so it technically is not as good. What is this one again? 11 16-inch guns. They have 10. It's very close. I think mine's only in 3 turrets, though. That's the crazy thing. I think mine's 434. They have very good armor. Like, I gotta pop mine out. I wanna... Maybe I'll just... let me pause and take a screenshot of this. Okay, so there it is, popped up. So I have that in the background. Diving shells, okay. And let's rework the design, see if there's anything we can gain. I think 19 is all going to be safe for the AA directors. Everything still looks good here. Just very funny, but yeah, I like it. I still like it. Let's go ahead and just build it. And I know that we have it. Let's get one, and I actually do need to check. Let me check real fast the ship names. Yep, we're all set, so we'll build 2 more of these. It'll be a mystery what names we get. We've got the Satori and the Shinano. Ah, that's a good name. 27 knots might even be a little bit too fast. I probably should have taken that down to 26 knots. But it feels more realistic. It feels better, I guess, to get them up to faster. The next ones I built probably won't be any faster. If I remember correctly, 26, 27 was only a difference of like 250 knots. 250 knots. 250 tons. Something like that. Do we want any mothballing going on? I guess we'll put these into reserve right away. They'll build up to their normal crew limit under reserve conditions anyway, just to save a little bit of money. You can go to active fleet. Where are you? In the South Pacific? So I think you can move back to the Northeast Asia. Okay, I forgot. Let's look at this and compare this with my Daigoji. Okay, so we'll put you over here. See if we can bring you up over here. Not really. We compare armor first, I guess. Let's just do armor to armor. So we have 13 to 12 and a half, 5 to 4 and a half. Basically, they're half. They took my design and up armored it by half an inch, except for their turrets are only 13 and a half. That's, I mean, hey, if you're playing against the British, that's a great thing to see right there. That's what we want. Secondary turrets, I don't think that's important. Conning tower, not really important. We also have aircraft, so big advantage us if it comes to a carrier battle. At least, and these are involved. Let's take a look at the armament now. So we'll kind of swap positions here. All right, so now we have 11-16 versus 10-16, but it is a 4-3-4 versus a 3-2-2-3, which is, I think, a bit. I would give them. Okay. If it was 10-10, I'd give them the advantage. I would essentially call our armaments even because potential reliability issues on these. Like if we lose one turret, we're going to lose a lot larger of a percentage of our guns. 18 6-inch guns versus 16 5-inch guns, like clear advantage for us. And we have 22 4-inch dual purpose. They have 4 3-inch guns for dual purpose, so we're way ahead there. Also in terms of light. Okay, so we're in really good shape. They have advanced director. Oh, advanced director. Okay, well that was a fun little comparison, but I think that shows that our design is worth the extra 10% tonnage. You know, not necessarily in terms of guns, but in other ways, like the float planes and stuff like that. Hopefully it's going to make up its worth in those ways. Now, you guys are all here, so let's get you all to reserve. And really, I ought to be mothballing the ones that are... Like, the Ukazis just need to be mothballed. And so do you guys. Akukazi's 900, so let's get these guys mothballed as well. Yeah, if you only have 6 torpedo tubes, you get mothballed. So even these guys, the 1000 ones, are going to get mothballed. So I know that Katori made a comment about how my destroyers are not in good shape. I have to disagree, mainly because my destroyers are mainly used for torpedoes. We've seen this. How many battles have my torpedoes won with their guns? They may have helped out in a couple against enemy destroyers. So I don't want to completely dismiss. That's not my message. My message is not destroyers don't need guns. It's more, where have we gotten the most value out of our destroyers? And in that, you'd have to clearly say it's with the torpedoes. And furthermore, you'd have to say that, 6 torpedoes is already valuable. Like our 6 torpedo ones have already gotten, very good value. This is a strange one. I forgot we even had something with a 223. Looks like it was a standalone until the size came in. Now, that's not to say I don't want to add more destroyers. I do. Didn't we design one last time? But budget priorities mean that for now, 3 carriers and the light cruisers. If we end up making... Okay, how long until these are done? Another year. So in a year, we'll probably get some more destroyers just to have fodder ready for the cannons when we go in and they start dying. Now, 1924 refit. That means all of these are going to have to be redone, which is going to be a pain in the bum, but it needs to be done. Okay, so we'll just get like some of my destroyers, unfortunately, back out. Let's do this intelligently. This is 18 ships at 600. I think we'll just get 18 of these. Because the extra 20% means that those are worth 750, but these are, we'll probably get, probably get 17 of them, and it'll probably do the job. It's really penny pinching to try to discern, get the difference between those two. But let's do this. Wait next turn, and actually, you might as well just send. Well, what else are we going to want to upgrade? Another 14. Okay, we're just going to have to do this in stages. Yeah. And 2 in South Pacific, 2 in South Pacific. Okay, so we can move 2 of these to the South Pacific. And that should cover for the ones that we start cycling out for the South Pacific. Very good. So then we'll just start doing these in 2 stages. First the Houghton Maroons, or first the Osama Maroons, and then second the Houghton Maroons. Okay, good. And I only see 1 person on active. They're coming back home. A few actives here. They're elite as well. Hate to do this, but yep, back down to reserve. Well, how much does it save? It does save what, like... Not that much. I might leave these size. They're so good. These are the ones with the 2 5-inch guns. I'd rather have these on reserve, though. Honestly. It doesn't save that much, right? If I'm going to put them on active, I might as well... You know what? That's a really good point. I need to spend some ships in Southeast Asia anyway. Why not put my destroyers there, knowing that I need some ships there anyways, and let's not ruin their elite status. I could probably do this, honestly, even for, well, the Daigojis, that would be a pretty substantial difference in budget. How big is a difference is it for the Ashigaros? 150? Yeah, I think I'll keep those as well. Okay, so we'll penny pinch for the most part, but we'll leave these destroyers. We'll keep these. They already have the elite status. Okay, you guys are also... Nah, but you're not worth it as much. You only have 6 torpedoes. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with this. We'll get these, which are already on elite. They'll stay in elite. This will give us... we'll have to work out the math, but, it'll alleviate some of the stress or the demand for our corvettes, which we don't really care if they're on active duty or not. I just put them there because they're cheaper. I never really thought about that. I don't know why, but yeah, we'll sell that, sure. Oh, and I forgot. We'll say no to all because we do need to revisit our airbase situation here. So we're doing good on this front. Now the next thing is how are we doing on air bases? So I think we'll just have to go one at a time. Let's just start taking a look. I think we have an air base here. I think we have one somewhere here. And what we have one more over. So we want one. We want one probably in Korsakov. We probably want one in Hakodate. Or maybe Otaru. Korsakov or Otaru. Probably Otaru then, which can cover both sides. And then we want... okay, maybe just one in Korsakov. Every now and then I feel like... Okay, so against the Russians we do get battles over here, in which case it would be nice to have one. Closest one is Noshiro. It's going to be impossible for us to get a reasonable air presence over there. Then we want one... We get a lot of battles like... I think Fusan would be a great choice. So let's maybe build an airfield in Fusan. And that might even cover... I mean, the next one will be Weihai Wei, because it just gives us a lot of coverage. Let me look at the bases we have now. So, in Northeast Asia, we have Weihai Wei. So let's... Oh, yeah, we'll keep this one. Then we have Korsakov. That's a good one. By the way, can we expand these? We can. And then we have Hakodate and Wakanai. I don't think we need both of these. Hakodate and Wakanai. Well, I guess if we have Korsakov, then the next one we should have is Hakodate. Okay, so we don't need Wakanai. We're going to go ahead and scrap the Wakanai base. I'm not sure how to do it. Maybe I just remove the aircraft from there? No, then it's going to give me... I think that you actually pay maintenance for these. Okay, so maybe I won't care just because I don't know how to erase the bases. And I think the comment section in this video, my Magic 8 Ball tells me I'll probably get a comment revealing how to do that. Southeast Asia. I want Takao. Really want Takao. Then I think the next best one after that is Haikau. Is that us though, or is that Sanya? It is Sanya, or Hainan. There's Fort Bayard, which would probably cover that as well. 1, 2, I basically just want to cover Hong Kong. And the next one I want is maybe Saint-Jacques, maybe Cameron. I don't know which of those two I'd prefer. Probably Saint-Jacques, because it's closer to the British and therefore more likely an invasion target. And then we keep the Pontianak. Pontianak one I think we should even upgrade. Or make sure it's as big as possible. Okay, so go to Southeast Asia. You will be expanded. You will be expanded as well. And then we have the Saint-Jacques. Okay, so that's actually perfect. I'm okay with that. That means that we don't have the Fort Bayard one. We have the Takao, we have the Saint-Jacques, and we have the Pontianak. In theory, if we went up against the Americans, we would want a base, probably in the Northern Marianas. Iwo Jima. Or no, Iwo Jima. The other Jima. Yeah. Saipan obviously would just be a perfect counter to any actions in Guam. But it's only a value of 1 and base value of 4. In fact, the Northern Marianas are a value of 0. Interesting. So are the Caroline Islands. Huh. Didn't we start with... Yeah, the Bismarck Archipelago? No, I'm not sure if we did start with it, but... Did we win it? I forget what happened with this thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure the British didn't own it at the start of the game. Probably the Germans. I think what happened is Germans owned it, we took it from them, and then the British took it from us. I already forgot. It's ancient history. It's water under the bridge. So, okay, I think we're okay with the ports here, or the air bases here. But the huge one has to be, we definitely need either Buka or Shoreland. Doesn't even matter which of these two. Whichever one we already have, that one has to be improved. Yeah, I mean, we should probably make a decision. Okay, Buka, that's fine. We'll expand that airbase as well. And I think we should make a decision about Hakodate or Wakanai. Just which one do we want to keep? Wakanai or Hakodate? So let's do Hakodate. We'll improve the size of Hakodate. And we'll leave Wakanai forever at 40. Okay, I'm happy about that. Seems like a sensible decision. Well, it's not another turn where we aren't really making much progress, but I feel like we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, kind of getting everything to where we want it to be. We're getting ready for this next war, and I think we're going to be in really good shape for it. They want to extend? No, I actually don't think we care. They aren't going to contribute. We will send an ultimatum. That's actually great. We want them to... Okay, well, France looking like that. Okay, we had to finish the floatplane scouts. It's been, 11 years. Let's see. There's still one design which had the gall, the audacity to come and present a design that is slower than a floatplane scout from 11 years earlier. That is some very que cara más dura, whatever. This person has a lot of stones. In fact, all of them should be embarrassed. They only beat it. The fastest model only beat it by 3 knots. But this one up here obviously has enormous range, and it's the second fastest. And at least, for the love of God, it has one. It's one knot faster. Oh my lord! It actually has less fire. How was this thing even? How did this even exist? I don't know. So this one, gosh, we'd have to sacrifice some range for it. But it has a higher maneuver. I don't think that's that important though. That range is so good. Yeah, let's do the top one. An improved fighter, which is really good. It just improved the speed, but that's important to me. Oh yeah, yeah, never mind, not just the speed and the range. Reliability was average, which is good. You know, we have very low expectations for reliability. Boy, that really did trigger the French. Ha ha ha! How dare you, Mozambique? What's that the matter? Like, what do you care about? What do you care about for Mozambique anyway? Why would you care that the Japanese protested? We had like no real say in that part of the world. Oh yes, absolutely. Just always buy everything. Oh, we haven't looked at research. That's what I forgot to do. And look at that. 37 minutes into the video now too. Alright, how are we doing with everything? We're getting a lot of our improvements for other things. No, actually, we need to reset some items here, I have to say. That's good. This is good. I think this needs to be set to high. That needs to be set to high. That's on low. We need AA directors, so I need to keep that on high. I'm okay with this on low. I'm okay with this on low. ASW, gosh, how are we doing here? We have 11 technology? No, 13. Honestly, I think we're okay now. Let's put this back down to low. Submarines will leave on low. Oxygen fuel torpedoes. Let's put this down to low. I think torpedo technology, we've gotten to the point where we have what we want. We'll put this down to medium because we have an advantage with it. So, diving shells. I think we gotta start getting more damage out, more penetration. Advanced weight savings. I mean, hey, that's good. We already are up to 20 here. I'm gonna put this down to medium. I don't know what else turrets and gun. I mean, this might be the AAA. Let's put this down to medium as well. We don't have torpedo protection 4. But I feel like we've made good progress with this. Actually, no, that's not even necessarily true. We just buy a lot of our improvements. Put that down to medium. Fire control and high. Yeah, we're still missing the important stuff there. I guess we'll leave these on low. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on fire control, AP projectiles, anti-aircraft artillery, and then the carrier stuff. Well, I think that is what I want to prioritize, so it makes sense to me. Alright, one more turn. Let's see what we can do. New docks completed. We should prestige and tonnage, prestige and tension, or budget and minus prestige. I don't really care a whole lot about prestige. It ends up getting up pretty high by the end of the game anyway. So I think budget and prestige is what we want. I would like to buy a little bit more time before war, even if it's with France. So, and that's going to be a nice short video. I mean, we didn't make it that far. Okay, let's just do one more turn, but basically we'll wrap up here. An alliance, no. Fine, we'll do it. Just because we're about to go to war with France. 3-inch quality 1 guns, it's fine. Okay, well, and that's perfect place. We'll figure out how to deal with the French in the next episode. So for now, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.